pass me the...
The disaster in the background is always nice.
Oh, well, hopefully I'll be sitting on the way.
Why is this thing so wobbly?
You need to twist the base against the... Okay.
Good enough. Alright, it's going about to here.
Okay. Is it recording?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so a bit of movie magic here. In the moment while we're having to take care of phone calls. Put some of this together here. Now, plate started with nothing on it other than the gathering pallet and the center cam that's behind the snail assembly here. So my first step was to put on the flirt, located up top here, just over the center shaft. So I could line up the automatic nighttime shut-off. Now this one, the last chime it's going to do is 11 o'clock at night, and the first chime it's going to do in the morning is 7:15, and we're about to find out if that actually panned out the way that I want to. So first thing I put on, once the plates got together, was gathering pallet. The next thing I put on was this gear, which is intermediate gear for the motion works. It coordinates the minute hand shaft cam, which has the quarter-hour cam on it, and then splits that ratio to the hour pipe. So the hands rotate 12 to 1. And next is this other intermediate gear, which coordinates with the automatic nighttime shutoff gear. So gathering pallet 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I lied. Okay, let's go back, do all that over again. Gathering pallet 1, chime flirt 2, this intermediate wheel 3, 4, 5, 6, and I put this on 7 to make sure that it was indeed on the 7th step of the snail, according for 7:15. I just went on. Golly, this still looks funky. Not happy with that. Next, I put on this lever here. Let me just take that off, since I got to pull it off anyway. All right. Next, with this is the chime warn lever. So when it's coming up to the warning, oh, and that's working its way off because I don't have an E-clip on it yet. All right, so this is the lever here. Now I'm going to take this, which has a washer behind it. This coordinates the chime quarters on the chime cam, and it also interrupts the strike on the warn. Let's see. Hoping for anybody that's watching this for tips and tricks on getting this thing assembled. You can see some of this stuff. I really wish I had the time to do like a really in-depth, in detail. Maybe I'll do that again someday. Next Kieninger I'll work on, maybe I'll do that.
Are these particularly difficult?
No, but they're not particularly common. I think for every 20 grandfather clocks I work on, probably a good 15 of them are Hermley. Probably 4, or a total of 19, are probably Ergos. And every one, well, that's not very good. That's, anyway, they're mostly Hermleys. It's maybe 10 Hermleys, 5 Ergos. Someone again? Yep, it's your mom. This will be fun.
No.
Should let her be on the YouTube video. She'll have a blast. Probably say inappropriate things.
I almost put...
Okay, we have a nice box of goodies here. Alright, now I've got that on there. I need to put the E-clips on here. You put E-clip here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do that real quick. Got nothing on the back, so this isn't smushing anything. And this is probably the most exciting part about putting the clock together, is getting these E-clips to not fly across the room. The way I'll do it is take a pair of tweezers, ideally not magnetic, and then I drop it, and I pick it up. I usually drop it again 3 or 4 times. So a bunch of really hateful things about the people I love. Okay, put that on there. Yep, that's clipped. And I'll probably have to pull that off again once I find out, very disappointingly, that my automatic nighttime automatic nighttime sequence shut off. Turn on Sean Connery there for a second. I'm gonna find out you're out of sequence. Trebek. There we go. And now we're going to this other one. Really helps if your tweezers aren't magnetic. These things just keep getting magnetic over and over and over again. I think probably from being in the company of magnetized parts and other tools that are magnetized. They should heat. Those aliens that keep bugger. I hear a dog. I think that's the dog. She's been left for dead in the house while I sit here and mess around all day, as I do. Poor thing. There's nothing but pain and suffering in her existence. All right, here we go. Hey, Lola. Hey, come here.
Yeah,
She's
literally,
deaf.
I gotta open the door, she walks away from the door, she doesn't want to go in the shop. She just wants to see that he's here.
Well, Lola doesn't like it out here in the clock shop. That's fine. That's fine. I'll remember that. Okay. All right. And now we're going to put on this little lever here. This part's actually, this is a very little known fact, this is called a doohickey. If you ever hear people use that for a part that they don't know what it is, this is actually scientifically referred to as a doohickey. That was fun. That's insane. Okay, well, the mainspring winder just caught on fire. Due to the fact that my magnifying glass was focusing the sunlight onto it. I got burnt plastic here. I'm glad I caught that. That was fun. Always something fun and interesting going on. This clip has schmutz on it still. Clean that off as best as we can here. Hope my ass isn't hanging out of my pants. That's clean. Hey, Shannon. The mainspring winder caught on fire.
What? How the fuck does that even happen?
The light was apparently sitting over the top of it.
Oh my god. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Did you get it on video?
No, I don't know if it was actually on video.
Oh, probably not.
It might have. Can you see that far back?
No, I
You
don't
can't-
think so.
It's,
How did it catch on fire? Oh my god, I'm sorry. I moved it too.
No,
I'm the one that moved it.
this was on the winder.
Oh, the plastic.
Yes.
Oh my god. I moved the light when we were looking for some earlier, and apparently I set it, the light on the handle, and it
I smelled burning plastic. I'm
I
like,
smell burning plastic.
what's that smell?
And something's going on fire. And we're doing a YouTube live on top of it, so I don't know if it got in the video or not. But I'm
No. That's fun and funny. Flying equipment there. Step over that. Okay. All right. Once again, try not to let the E-clips fly across the room, because they can be somewhat hard to replace and model specific. Aside from model specific, they can be application specific on the same model. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different size E-clips. If I'm not mistaken. No less than 5. Okay, E-clips on all those parts. Now, we're going to find out where exactly this sequence falls. God, it still smells like burned plastic in here. God, that stuff stinks.
Do you know where? She says there's a button on the floodlight that you have set up that you gotta reset it. Do you know where that is? Or how to do that?
It's like a pinhole.
It's like a pinhole, he says.
It's...
The top or the bottom?
I think it's on the bottom of the light assembly.
He thinks it's in the bottom of the light assembly.
On the bottom of the rectangle.
On the bottom of the rectangle.
fine.
I think she just gets in and just kind of, yeah, that's what was tripping me out.
Two, three, four, five, six, 8. Is it really 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that should be 10 o'clock, right? These be 10 o'clock. Where does that fall? Oh, right on the edge. Alright, so this isn't falling where I was hoping it would. I've got to just wait till that's worked its way around.
Alright, wow. Let's just say I'm glad I didn't put on the speaker.
This is one of those kind of conversations.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Well, you know, weirdo neighbors hacking
Oh, yeah.
and
It happens.
traffic on Pace Boulevard coming over, or on Brankus coming over the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have a lot to say about it. Most of it not PG-13.
Oh. Well, that's all right. We should have something catch on fire. I thought I was losing my mind. I smelled something burning. I'm like, maybe it's just the heater running. And I look back and the handle is smoldering.
God, I did that too.
I
So
hope.
sorry.
I don't know if you did or not.
I
might
pushed
have.
the light over there. I pushed it aside when I was looking on the desk.
Well, I'll be thankful it wasn't the bottle of combustible fluid next to it that started catching fire.
Yeah, we really need to get a air extinguisher. That's funny. You still need his picture?
No, I don't think I do. No, I'm good. What I do need is to stop thinking about my mainspring winder catching on fire.
Moving on.
Moving on. You know, those things had, and this is an important lesson, YouTube, about safety equipment. Those magnifying lenses had top covers onto them to cover up the magnifying lens. It was a plastic flap. And I just pulled them off because I couldn't see why you'd need to keep a plastic flap over your magnifying glass. And today I both fucked around and I also found out. Which, see, that just passed 15. I'm going to need to find out.
Need to add some tags to these.
Yeah.
This one, Kanye West. Could add a tag.
Oh, yeah, but do.
And,
It might have been dropped by Adidas, but it'll be in my heart forever. Just kidding. Kanye West is a very bad person, people. Well, he said some very, I don't know, he could be a good person that said really bad things.
yeah, but this one needs to tag small shot fire.
Yeah. 0 days since our last incident.
Do we ever get further than like 1 day?
I think that's about it. It's about as far as we get. And God, I really want to see that video on the playback. I still have
I don't think you can see it.
Now you can probably see the alarm on my face though.
I should have aimed it higher so you could see your face.
Okay. I think that I have gotten this in the right spot. Of course, this isn't cooperating. Okay, you're on there. All right, so now we got to go through till 7:15.
Adjust this a little bit better.
This is a lot easier when the clock is running on a test stand, but sitting there putting E-clips on while it's in a vertical position is a nightmare. Exactly.
So what are you doing right now? Just testing, make sure everything's turned correctly?
Yeah, this has automatic nighttime shut off. And the way Kieninger put this together was pain in the ass.
Don't you talk about Kieninger like that.
I know, I said it. Okay, is that 7:15? Let's see, where did that fall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really? Yeah, this is just a delightful feature about these. I'm gonna wait till I get the rest of it together. If I'm not mistaken, the last chime is 10, or maybe 11. Sit here with nothing on it. It's hard to gauge and count. But it's got an 8-hour nighttime silence. So this has an option to either let it continually chime throughout the night, or it will shut off for 8 hours. Let you get good sleep uninhibited by the chiming of your grandfather clock. And making sure I've got that sequence in the right spot is a little problematic. This wheel, which I wonder if they allow that to slip right there. See, they have those 2 little pinholes. I bet you they'll allow you to turn that wheel if it's off by a quarter hour. So we're gonna have to find out for sure once clock gets all the way together. I've done the math. I think it's right, but thinking it's right or looking right on paper versus actual hands-on application, it's 2 totally different things. And I need one more E-clip too. There's no E-clip up here. Okay, but there is a tension spring to go on here. I gotta put the strike selector and nighttime shut off on there. I think I've got to put the strike lever inside there first. This is gonna go like so, and this is kind of a little course correction here. The fact that these never seem to be under enough tension. I'm gonna go a little overboard here, which I'm pretty good at doing. Okay, well, I say that. Yeah, say it's just not going to be under enough tension, in my opinion. What's going to happen is it'll let the clock just strike continually, which is highly upsetting. And there's probably at least 3 or 4 different calls a year I'll do simply for that one problem. So I've got a clock, and it won't stop striking the hour. And I ask them if it's either a Howard Miller or a Kieninger. And there's a brief pause, and how did you know? I've seen this before. See, that's a little bit too much tension, but that's my 2 options. Just barely enough tension, no tension at all, or way too much tension. So and yep, for sure need another E-clip. I wonder what size that is. Lettuce C, lettuce B, and lettuce D, and all the other alphabet lettuces. This will fit. They're probably sitting here, being colorblind, and seeing a black E-clip on a black table. I mean, I think if you had your full color spectrum, that would still be hard to see. But it's really hard for me to see. Choke on your words. Ma'am, can we please have quiet on the set? We've already had a fire on the set. Are you okay?
Trying to joke quietly.
I appreciate it. It's embarrassing.
Snack when you're watching.
You do. I hope you guys are remembering to chew your food before swallowing.
No, it's the seasoning I breathed it in. The chewing I have down, the breathing part.
It's difficult. It's difficult. It's not for everybody. Okay, so next we have the chime hammers to put on, and I'm gonna put the strike through here. That's got another E-clip. That's all right, so there's strike hammers. Okay, that's a good sequence right there. There's this goofy little lever here that interacts with the nighttime shutoff and strike silence switch. Ugh. That WD-40 got all over the damn place. Alright, I'm going to put some grease on that momentarily. I am now ridiculously paranoid about these lights. God, it still smells like burnt plastic. I hope this doesn't end up shattering my arm next time I go to wind up Main Street. And we'll find out.
I'm sorry. The chips are on sale, by the way.
They're on sale. You know how much I love chips and how much I hate paying full price for things, so that was awesome.
Well, they're usually like $3 a piece.
Were they? What were they today?
2 for $3.
Well, hell, they're almost giving them away. I feel bad.
I wish they had those ones you're getting for $1.
Oh yeah, the
Esophagus burners.
Yeah. Quite. What are they? All I remember is the bizarre motto they have for those: the golden girl with the golden curl.
I don't even remember the name. Brandon.
Well, joke's on them. We're doing a YouTube video. Could have been a great opportunity for product placement if they picked something with a memorable name. You're still joking.
But I can't stop eating them. For anybody that wants to know, it's the Golden Flake hot.
Hot chips.
So what it says, hot.
Hot,
That's it.
yeah. There's no flavor in them. They're hot.
It's hot.
It's,
Thin and crispy. See, look, $2.99.
oh yeah. Bought a couple of those before. So I've bought a couple of those before. Okay. You go into your home. Right there. No. Finding the right size screwdriver here. It's going to be problematic. No, that's too big. You know, I would have thought the screwdrivers that I'd used could perchance be same size that I need to put this together. Here's a yellow handle screwdriver. Not that one. And not this one. I'll have to look at this one. Okay. Let's oil on that. Really should have double checked, make sure that was tight. Okay, now I'll put this on. This is a 1.3 millimeter hex driver. It's hexagonal, 1.3 millimeters diameter. Absolute lifesaver. I got a set of these going from, I think, like 0.8 millimeters to, I think, 2 millimeters, something along those lines. A lot of the newer Hermleys and Kieningers use these sockets to make them tamper-proof. Wish they made a way to keep you from spraying these with WD-40, but that's I'm not there yet. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these 1.3 millimeter maggot screws, which is just one of my absolute favorite mechanical terms. Maggot screws. Just a maggot screw is named maggot screw because it looks like a maggot. It's a screw, it's just thread, usually the inset head. I think most of the time they're hex heads on there. Take an E-clip here, putting this together, like so. Oh boy. Let's see. Now we're going to let's use our hemostats here. Put on this E-clip. There's an E-clip on the back side of this set of hammers for the strike. Oh, you're almost there. There we go. Clipped in place. All right. So we're going to clip this spring back onto here. Well, ideally, I say we're going to do that, and then I'm really not. Add that to a very long list of things that I say that I'll do, and I actually won't. It's not supposed to be funny.
You haven't seen my list?
No. They haven't. I have. Okay. Now we've got left, we have the chime hammers. We have the chime roller, which looks, this looks awful. This lacquer and finish has just been absolutely cooked. I've cleaned this 3 times and I've given up.
What was it cooked
So
with, James?
WD-40. WD-40 in an easy bake oven. I don't know about the easy bake oven part, but something baked on that WD-40. Because people spray WD-40, and it's not, I don't take it personally. If you're going to try to fix your own stuff.
If you Google it.
Yes.
I haven't done it myself.
Yes.
So
Oh, yeah, we've come across comments where people are like, I read online that some clock master said to...
You can totally spray it with WD-40.
Yeah. Well, you know why he said that? Because you want your money for fixing your clock after you spray your WD-40. That's why. Or that, or he's a nihilist or a sadist or something. It's like telling people that they can put diesel in their gasoline car. Don't do that. Don't do that. But do tell your dad that you did, because that's funny. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Eventually, all the dads are going to, well, I don't know. Too many dads aren't on TikTok watching stuff like that, so they might not wise up to it after all.
I feel like I want to do it to my dad, but he'd immediately blame you.
He would. He would. That, I wonder if... Yeah, you could get him with that, because he takes his job so seriously. I think he would suspend disbelief momentarily in fear that you had actually just ruined the car.
Yeah, for the viewers, my dad's a mechanic.
Yes.
Lifetime mechanic.
He doesn't work on lifetimes. He's been a mechanic for a lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there are lifetime mechanics or not. All right. Think I'm going to not put the verge on, despite the fact that I just cleaned this part. Can you not smell the burnt plastic smell?
Mm-mm. I've got the window cracked.
It's like baked into my nasal cavities. That's all I smell right now.
After all the cleaner.
Yeah, that's well. I cleared off my mucous membranes.
It's ready to fully.
I really can't believe that happened. You know, I thought it was. I thought it was. I thought I put a cigarette on the vise, and because the vise is holding that, I thought that somehow, like the cigarette burned so far back that maybe it got on the handle.
Yeah.
Quit smoking, people. It's terrible. That's on my list of things to do. I'll quit smoking after I quit working on clocks that have WD-40 all over the friggin' hammers.
And you can help
Yeah.
by not spraying your clothes with WD-40.
Yeah. Every time you spray your clock with WD-40, I get just a little bit more cancer. That's how that works. So.
You tell them why you put them on the wire?
Oh, I put them on the wire so I can keep them in the order that they're in. They're technically all 100% identical on here, but they've all been bent into shape for the clock cabinet that they've been put in. So rather than having to bend, and rebend, and unbend, and read all that work, if you just put them on the wire in order that they're in, like so, starting from front to back, back to front, left to right, east to west, however you want to quantify how the hammers went on here. God, it smells awful. That's too bad that didn't get on video. I mean, it was smoldering, like smoke was pouring off between where the plastic handle on the metal crank goes, and it was cooking. It was a cooking. All right, so I'm going to clean these again and again and again and again. This is about the only part that I have yet to actually completely go over again and again. My cleaner is very good. My oil-based cleaner that I used for this was very helpful in loosening a lot of the schmutz particles. Schmutz particles that collected on here. That's a much better word of the day. What was the word of the day from last week?
I have no idea.
It was that pocket, the cul-de-sac. What was it called? The anatomical, the pouch of something. Somebody was asking on Reddit about what that pouch on their little pencil trapper keeper thing was.
Oh, yeah.
The pouch of Douglas. The pouch of Douglas. Don't do it now because you're watching this video, but as soon as you're done, you should Google what the pouch of Douglas is, and then you'll really start to question taking my advice on things. Didn't know the pouch of Douglas was a thing. I do now. I tried to use it in a sentence several times that day, but...
I think I've repressed the memory because I remember when as you're talking, but I don't remember what it is. Don't tell me.
Pouch of Douglas, yeah.
I don't think I want to know.
It's,
Again.
is it the intrauterine sac? Is what they call that? Or intrauterine pouch? It goes between the birth canal and the colon. Apparently
That's
there's
right,
a hidey hole pocket in there. Don't think you can put anything inside the pouch of Douglas.
Put that challenge out there.
No, that'll be the latest TikTok challenge. The pouch of Douglas challenge. Oh, that'll be the day that God comes back and delivers the swift punishment that we all deserve.
You're so ridiculous.
And there's still more WD-40 on this thing. It's WD-40 is hard to clean off. WD-40 is...
When it gets tacky, doesn't it?
It gets tacky. In this case, it's the fact it got tacky and it apparently got superheated. And as far as I know, this clock was allegedly in storage. I don't know what the hell happened in the storage facility, but shit got really, really hot.
I mean, some are in metal buildings.
Yeah. Yeah. They probably had a magnifying glass over the top of their mainspring winder. And accidentally set the place on fire.
Yeah, we definitely need a fire extinguisher.
We have many fire extinguishers. Saying this for the viewers and for Occupational Safety Hazard Administration, who I know watches a ton of my videos. And I am in full compliance with all of their prerequisites. Just kidding. Not kidding.
Kidding, not kidding.
Kidding, not kidding. Sorry, not sorry. Alright, so... at this point, I really need screwdrivers. Okay, let's figure out which screws I'm even looking for. There's going to be 3 of them. They're going to look identical. That's 2, so that must be for the verge. So, I'm going to take these 3 screws. And I'm going to put this plate on here. Come on. Go ahead. Yep, I know you want to tip over. I'll do it now. Okay. God bless this crappy little screwdriver. I don't know where I got it from. I had it for years and years, but it's just perfect size for a bunch of these. I mean, when I say it's perfect, it was like it was made for this screw in particular. I mean, there's you know, the modern era, there are, you know, different number sizes. Sizes, excuse me. Burp coming up when I'm talking. Back my throat burns.
It's the fire.
The
The
fire.
melting plastic.
All right, who's putting voodoo curses on me while making this video?
Also, a list that I have somewhere.
Yeah, there's probably a handful of individuals. That's fine. That was well played. That's good on you for it. Gonna have to try harder than that though. All right. So, unlike counting the strike sequence on, oh, I gotta do that tonight, by the way. You know, I thought that I heard that last night and it was wrong. I really don't know how I got that wrong. I think it was in my happy place. There's schmutz underneath the screw. Goodness gracious. Everywhere I look on this damn thing. Alright, so I got that on there. Now on the back plate we have the chime selector. I have the drive wheel, the chime. Put that in place. It's covered in schmutz too. No, it does not. One part that was not covered in schmutz. This was when I went to work out on the clock first time. That was way off. Way off from where it's supposed to be. Somebody had obviously tinkered, which I like tinker. It's aside from being an Air Force base in the great state of Oklahoma. Tinker is also a really nice way to express people doing shit they really shouldn't be doing. You know, like clocks are apparently it's okay for them to be tinkered with. But you know, if I tinkered with, you know, my tax returns, I get the feeling that there would be real world consequences, and that's what cracks me up about the term tinker, because it sounds. What am I trying to say? It sounds friendly. There's something benevolent about the sound, connotation of tinkering. Tinkering. Just I've never heard fucking shit up because you don't know what you're doing. In such a
nice way.
In such a nice way. Tinkering. Tinkering. You know. If I heard the people, the Large Hadron Collider were tinkering around with subatomic particles, I'd get in a bunker. Because I've seen what happens when people tinker with clocks. And I can't imagine that'd be much better. Okay. I gotta get a clear chute onto that. Will those go on there? Hope they will. Alright. All that for number one. Who the hell slammed that wheel backwards? Good lord. Okay. You go right there. And that spring bar is over there, which also, too, got covered in WD-40. My oil-based cleaner is a very good cleaning solution. However, it apparently has grown weak in comparison to this WD-40. So I'm going back through, and don't try this at home, kids. I'm using lighter fluid because it is volatile enough to get below the WD-40, but not so volatile that it gets underneath the lacquer on any of these parts, because going from being covered in crap to being stripped of protective coating isn't really a big upgrade. So this is good middle ground. I've never seen more coating. This is really just breathtakingly terrible. Jesus. All right. Should have had all this done because this is not very interesting to watch. Me going through each and every single hammer. Can always check in later when the video's done. Let's see. Fast forward through this. This is I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but there's black stuff on this stick, and that's all the WD-40 that worked its way into really every nook and cranny. And here's the thing ultimately. When your clock does stop after years and years of neglect, it's not due to a shortage of WD-40. That is definitely not a cause and effect of, my clock was short about 4 gallons of WD-40 being sprayed onto it. The thing, it sticks to the wood, and will actually, sink into the wood, and it'll be there for the rest of eternity. I mean, I'm sure after, a couple hundred years, maybe it might dry out a little, but WD-40 has very good lasting power, and not in the good way. It obviously doesn't stay nice and fresh. You can see all this white crud built up, and it's just a mixture of chemical leaching from the lacquer, dust, the original factory oil. This is a nightmare. And this clock, the whole reason it really should have been due just for an on-site service, which I had done, and I actually ended up partially cleaning some of these parts on site because the levers were stuck. Stuck not from the original factory oil, but stuck from the WD-40, which would glue the levers in an upward position so it wouldn't allow the clock to continue to chime. So the levers would lift up and then slowly fall, taking almost 10 to 15 minutes to actually get to the part where it would release the chime levers enough to chime. Okay. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I mean, that's if I was really one to give up easily, I would. I thought about this last night. The amount of time that I've spent into cleaning this thing, they've nearly ruined the movement. I mean, the fact that if this is an antique clock that they don't make parts for, I'd obviously have no choice other than to clean it. But this one, I really kind of want to reassess the whole it needs to be cleaned diagnosis, because this is so far beyond needs cleaning.
What would you say the difference between the cost of a regular cleaning and a cleaning like this?
This, if I was any other industry, automotive repair, healthcare, home renovation, I've spent essentially double the time that I expected, at least double the time at this point here, because I thought I was actually done cleaning it last night, as a matter of fact, and I had to clean well into the morning, and still now that the sun's going down, I would easily double the quote of what I had given for cleaning, which is going to be putting that close to at least then a couple $100 of an entire replacement mechanism. And this is so bad And you know, the great shame of it is, now that I've gotten all this stuff off of it, it's going to run for, it's actually fairly low mileage. These Kieninger mechanisms, from what I've seen in my experience, look like they run about 30 to 40 years, give or take. And this thing looks like it's got probably 15 years or less on it. If I recall correctly, I think the customer might have said that they might have had a new movement put in this thing at some point in the past. But maybe I'm just making that up in my head. And, I feel like I remember saying that they had a new mechanism put in it. If they did, it would have been some years ago, because this WD-40's been sitting on here for a long time. A long time. This is at least 10 or 15 years of buildup. And it's just a disaster. I just realized I didn't peg out the last one in there. How could I forget about pegging? It's my favorite part. A lot of times when friends or family will ask, "Where's James?" Shannon usually tell him, "Oh, he's out in his barn pegging by himself." It's kind of sad and disgusting.
Well, we'll cloth humor.
Oh yeah, clock humor too.
Mm-hmm.
Much like everything else, it's easier if you do it right the first time. I just can't believe how much buildup there is in these things. God. This has got to be fun. Watching me just sit here do trivial nonsense. Much like my other videos of me doing trivial nonsense. This one takes the cake.
So is that spring that's hanging?
Mm-hmm.
Is that attached to?
There is this bar right here. It's going to go right here, and then the other side attaches, and that's a return spring. So the hammers lift up and it snaps them back into place. A lot of these 4 o'clocks have something similar to that, if not just outright duplicate. Can that be seen? Can you see? Is that focusing? Is it too far?
What, the junk on the side?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that there's something. That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's right there. Okay. Now, see, here's a rag. The spot's clean right here.
And this is after 3 cleanings. Ugh.
That's just the one side.
I don't think
right
you
there.
can see it.
No.
Let's get closer. Lower. Yep.
Schmutz.
WD-40.
WD-40. They actually did used to say on the WD-40 can that it was good for clocks.
Line.
Yeah. They apparently had taken it off at some point the past couple of years, and I don't know what
Maybe
person.
I should say they were misinformed.
Yeah, they were misinformed. The Petroleum Distillate Distribution Company. I would think that they would have some at least base. I don't know. WD-40 is like the modern day snake oil when it comes to clock repair. WD-40 does have, it's great for door hinges and stuff like that. A door hinge is not a precision piece of equipment. WD-40 is great for getting off other globs WD-40. So it still has the volatile components that help loosen it up. Vol is not the right word I'm looking for. I can't think of what I'm trying to think of.
Corrosive?
No, it's the parts that evaporate out of WD-40 that take it from its easy to spray liquid form to settles in, and now it's just kind of their form. Kind of like whatever's in like a nail polish remover. You know, that very... I don't know what you'd call it. Part that smells. Once that stuff gets out of it, then it stops being useful. Kind of like me. All right, and there's one hammer left. It's really, and all this that I'm doing on here, I mean, I could sit here for an entire day just cleaning off just these hammers, and I'm getting it to the point, not where it's pretty, not where, you know, every little bit of the WD-40 is gone, but at least off the majority of the working surfaces on here, which is where it's part of the problem. But it's just, it's really awful to sit here and look at it, and all the just gunk, man. Hell, if you're gonna use WD-40, use a little straw that comes with it. Just spraying it all over the damn place. I pegged this one. I don't think I did. It's one of those things that's mind-numbing. I'm gonna go through and repeat the same exact things over and over again. Can't tell what I did and what I didn't. The clock man's gone crazy.
What'd your friend did to him?
How about some WD-40?
Stop.
Uh,
Anything but that.
Anything but WD-40. All right, fine. I don't know. What do we have to pick from? Huh? Like Jenga reverse card. Jenga reverse card. Uno reverse card. I don't know why. I've been thinking about Jenga lately.
I was talking about it the other day.
That's why.
Use it as an analogy.
So many product placements. I really should be getting money from like Milton Bradley, Parker Brothers,
WD-40.
WD-40, Kanye West. You should owe me an endorsement. Trying to get that man some work despite all the terrible fucking things he said. Okay, that's on there. Not really sure why they put this on. I guess because it's the chimes. And maybe at some point in the past, I missed all sorts of crap. I have apparently a box somewhere. There's another nut somewhere here. Maybe I will have to change the cleaning tank anyway. So, these little friction washers. Well, that's about here somewhere. I really usually have my wits about me a bit more when doing this. And I think I'm going to blame it all on that plastic fire. Killed the last 100 brain cells that were working their butts off trying to make all this happen. I thought I forgot the little selector lever. You could just go on there for me. That'd be great. Thank you. Okay. Now, these way. Is it really? No, it's right here.
I was gonna say, isn't it?
There is a nut right there. Okay, and that. Let's stand this up. Golly, that roller looks terrible. Okay, those I don't have to tighten up just yet. There we go. The torque specs in the Kieninger factory manual say you have to turn these to pt2. That stands for pretty darn tight.
I put it together.
No, you did.
I did.
Just want to feel included. All right, so aside from hooking the springs on there and putting these two brackets on the back, putting the cables, the stop works, the verge, in here, the anchor. So we've got a whole box of parts reduced down to this little pile here. So, without further ado, maybe I will have some further ado. Have just enough ado. Just enough ado. There's some free shavakadu.
Still funny.
It's still funny. Come to Del Taco. Have free shavakadu. So sad. I wonder if I mean, it's inevitable. TikTok will eventually die.
What will eventually do?
TikTok, like Vines did.
Oh, yeah.
Notice.
I thought you said tacos.
Tacos. Yeah, tacos.
Well,
God, that'll
tacos
be
will
a
never
sad
die.
day. No. That's a world I don't want to live in. It's a world without tacos.
I always think of Demolition Man.
He
All
said,
restaurants at Taco Bell.
are they really?
Yeah, they were the
Is
only
that-
ones that survived in some sort of apocalypse type situation.
God.
And so now all restaurants are Taco Bell, but they go to this restaurant where they put,
Wasn't Demolition... so that Sylvester Stallone...
and Sandra Bullock and Wesley Snipes.
Now, Sylvester Stallone was frozen because he was a shitty cop. Like, he
was set up, but yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's what they all say.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently Matthew is about to give up on the tank. Apparently it got foggy again, and I didn't read the whole message, but it just popped up.
Patience is key, but...
Well, that's what I think when I watch you do clock stuff. Like, how would you have patience for it?
I have something go wrong and I flip out and give up. Just kidding. I don't, because I can't. That's one thing that's a very important lesson for everybody out there is, you ever want to know how I maintain my composure, my commitment to making sure that this thing gets done. It's something we call a legal liability. I cannot legally give up on the project. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but it's, anyway. These people have entrusted me with their property.
was also, I sent the link to Matthew. He, comments that's a clock. Very astute observation,
That's a very
sir.
astute observation.
Not an entire clock, but the most important parts.
Yeah.
We're just discussing your tank problem.
We were. I said you should stick to it and
Or a doohickey.
doohickey.
Yes, instead of a clock, it may be a doohickey.
That's you weren't here when I was discussing that earlier with YouTube.
Oh.
It's this little lever right here. I told them that the actual clock term for it is doohickey.
That's, I didn't know.
Really?
See, he's smarter than we realized.
They
He knew
don't-
exactly what he's talking about.
No, it's really not a doohickey. I don't know what that's called.
Oh, well, we're officially deciding that it's called a doohickey now.
I'm hoping I at least convinced a couple people out there that it was indeed doohickey.
I'm convinced.
That's going to be a thing now. This is the verge. I'm on the verge of going mentally insane. That's not a joke.
I know, that's why it's funny. We're both heading there in the same car.
We are. The burning plastic mainspring handle.
Oh yeah, Matthew, you're still watching, apparently, set a fire. Small fire.
It was just a tiny fire. It only made the air toxic for a moment in here. God, I wish I had taken a picture. I should have just picked up a video. I never think about that.
Well, no, you're probably thinking about not setting the shop on fire.
Yeah.
It's probably more
No, really, the first thing that went through my mind is, why the fuck is that on fire? I spent way more time than I'm proud to admit. It took so long to sink in of, why is this on fire? And I still, once I moved the light out of the way to get over there, and it didn't occur to me till just after a couple seconds. I'm like, oh. I could not figure out, and it was literally just inches away from that a bottle of lighter fluid.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's flammable enough to, well, I mean, if it's enough to smoke, it's probably enough to catch fire.
Yeah.
All right, so this verge plate.
Really selfish of you, by the way, to be set on fire right now.
Yeah, it would. Well, and to get a nice little vacation though.
Who's paying workman's comp?
You have to pay into that?
I mean, you have to have a company or a boss that pays you that, I'm pretty sure. I mean, don't listen to me, but...
I thought they'd just give it to me just because I'm such a nice guy.
Pay yourself workman's comp.
Exactly. Alright, now I'm going to hook on these little springs.
See, now that's the part that I thought was interesting. Let's see if I can get in there.
Oh yeah, and get all up in there.
Stop
Okay.
it. He asked if we put Ari to work when she comes over. Good old-fashioned child labor.
Yeah, those tiny hands, man.
It's in the works. I actually just told the lady at the convenience store today that I was gonna indoctrinate my grandchild into clockwork.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like inundate her with all sorts of like random anecdotes that have nothing to do with clockmaking.
Yeah, but-
you know.
Brainwash her together.
Grandpa, why is the sky blue? Well, you see, Arya, it's kind of like a clock in a lot of different ways.
He says it's not child labor if you don't pay them. No, just make sure she has special snacks.
Checkmate. All right. Not gonna cry. There we go. There's no crying in clock
See,
repair.
now that I moved over here, I can definitely smell it.
Yeah. Yeah, go walk over the desk. It smells like death himself caught fire. Okay. Now I have the stop works and these two chime cams. Here's the speed round, everybody. Evolutionary scientists have taught us anything. You can just throw these at the clock, and it doesn't really matter where they go. It's going to be the right spot. See, here we go. And just stuff that anywhere, and after a couple million tries, it will be in the right spot. So there we go. Aside from that,
It's the only thing on a clock apparently that works that way.
No, they really aren't. You have to put them in a specific place. Somebody screwed around with that and put them in the wrong spot. And anyway, it's.
Oh, so you're just trying to confuse me.
I am.
And you wonder why I don't want to work on clocks.
Exactly. Just thought it was because of my personality disorders.
I don't have multiple personalities. I have multiple personality disorders.
Exactly. And that's pretty much it. So the stopwork's gonna go on, and I don't know if I feel super extra, I'll make a follow-up video. If you've gotten this far and you're depending on me telling you where to put the stopworks, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to let you down. I did. Oh yeah, these little tubes go back here. See, there's a tube. And,
if I didn't know any better, I'd say this was the first time.
It's
Every time's like the first time?
every time's like the first time. Feels like the first time. That would be a cool song title.
Feels like the first time?
Yeah.
Matthews is 100% let down. Just disappointing everyone at every turn.
That's.
Now Matthew's gonna have to put aside his clock project.
He is. Yep.
I'm
This
sure
is-
he's working on. He said that was my favorite part.
This is not where these go. So if you're committing that to memory, scratch that.
We're just showing you how not to do it.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing.
basically, yeah. Actually, my favorite clock projects to clean up after they can't figure out where to put these, so they just they take them and they throw them in the garbage. That actually is a thing. So
Yeah.
these are stopworks. They prevent you from overwinding the clock, and they also keep the gears from running out to the cable runs out and then falls and smashes through your clock case bottom. I smashed through your bottom. That sounded a little weird. Anyway, but those I have to put those on once I get the mechanism sat back on its seat board, which yay also has WD-40 on it. I have to clean that off before I sit this on top of a pile of WD-40. I
And
wish
then
that
when
was
we're
a
done,
joke.
we'll spray it with WD-40.
Yep, exactly. Oh, and also you have to oil all the metal-to-metal contact surfaces here, put grease where it's appropriate, and there you go. That's how you do it. That's it.
It only took 2 hours, 2.5. It's fine.
Yeah, didn't count the cleaning.
Yeah, I did, yeah. 3 cleanings, plus cleaning while assembling. Stop putting WD-40 on your cloth.
I'm going to take this Notice Protective Brace label and add my own label. Notice Protective Brace, also notice. That's what I'm going to write. Also notice, do not use WD-40.
I like it.
Right there.
We got labels.
We got labels. That's, there we go. That's pretty much it. I haven't done any of the sequencing stuff. I haven't oiled it, but that's, I'm frankly
Well, it's
exhausted.
shiny.
My brain is cooked. It is shiny. This looked like hot garbage before before I started. So
Hot garbage covered.
and it worked like even hotter garbage.
The fact that it worked is impressive. Did it work?
It worked intermittently. It
Well,
worked
that's
intermittently, and that took a lot of work for me to get it to work intermittently, and ultimately
That's
it
glass
just
half full right there.
yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, clocks have to work 100% correctly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Who else's job has to go that smoothly? What, a nuclear scientist? I think they can have an occasional meltdown, and it's not a big deal.
It's acceptable, yeah.
It's daycares.
Yeah.
Lose a couple kids. Didn't lose all the kids.
Yeah, 1 kid in 25 years. I mean, really?
One kid. That's a good track record.
Yeah. Well, and that's also why we're getting messages at 11 o'clock at night from people.
Yes.
I really need my clock fixed, and I just thought about it near midnight. Thank you. We'll get right on that. Or the woman that calls about her, 3 times in 2 minutes? I don't know how that works exactly. That's a lot of speed dialing.
That's a lot of speed dialing.
But yes. Call her back and, what seems to be the clock emergency, ma'am? 'Cause apparently that's what it is.
And then they usually just giggle and hang up.
No, that's not what they do. Hold on. Any last words for YouTube?
Please don't use WD-40. Please don't. Also, please don't put magnifying glasses over your tools. You should show them the fire where this thing burnt. So we had this, and the sunlight's coming into the door, and apparently this right here.
Just slightly melted.
Yeah, well, that's because you can't see the inside of it, because this was sitting over that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just a small fire. And right next to lighter fluid.
Yeah.
God, your desk is a disaster. That's, you know, I'm sure you know exactly where everything is, though.
Yeah, I do.
It's pretty fascinating, actually.
All right, thanks for
Thank you
watching,
for that
everybody.
super educational video.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Good luck with that. Hope you figure out the stop works and the chime sequence thing. It's easy peasy.